Alright, we had a comment that was asking about the arbor press, and so I felt like, this is probably a good time to go over some stuff about the tool. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the other video that has the tool, shows the tool in there. It's a 3-part system with 3 different size dies, and it comes in this oak box. First of all, safety. I know I'm guilty of it myself, and there's video proof of me being guilty of knocking the hole through the coin using a hammer, and that is not the recommended way to put this hole through here. There's several things that can go wrong, and at the moment I can't elaborate on what did go wrong, but let me well, I guess I could tell this as a fictitious story. We're going to call this a fictitious story. Someone had one of these tools that they sold, and another individual seen them take this tool and strike this with a hammer, and so they followed suit. When they bought the tool, they struck this with a hammer, and where they had hardened this die, a piece of it chipped off and went through their eyeball. Not a good thing. That's our fictitious story, because we can't tell any factual stories. Okay, got that cleared up. So we don't want to hit this with a hammer. We want to use an arbor press or hydraulic press. That'll do 2 things. It'll keep this from chipping, hopefully, and it'll also keep the top from mushrooming down. Because if you don't harden this thing, or if you pull it back too far after you hardened it and you beat on it with a hammer, this top's going to mushroom, and then it's not going to go all the way through the die. So if you use the arbor press or the hydraulic press, it will help to prevent that. It won't fully prevent it, but it'll help. Also, you want to take a towel, some type of towel. Now, this is a small towel. I would use a bigger towel than this, and wrap it around the die like so before you knock the hole. That way, if something does come flying out of there, this will slow it down. It'll slow down the velocity of it. This is whether you're using it in an arbor press or if you're using a hydraulic press. And I'm going to show the hydraulic press here in just a few minutes. But we had a commenter that asked about showing how to do this with an arbor press. And you can buy, this is a Dake arbor press. It's a number 0. I think a number 0 is a 1 ton, I think. It might be a 2 ton, I don't know, but it's not that big. Let's see, nameplate on here. Now I can't read it. It just says model 0, so you can look that up and that'll tell you how many tons this one is. But you can buy, not Dake brand, but you can buy, Harbor Freight sells arbor presses, and they're relatively inexpensive. But basically the way it works is you put your die in there, you bring this over like this here, you pull down on it, and it punches a hole. So let's go ahead and punch a hole and see what it's going to look like. I'm going to see if we can't do some other filming from a different angle. let's go ahead and pull this hole. So you just reach back here and pull it down. Easy peasy. There it went.
Pull it down. Easy peasy.
And the slug hit the ground down here somewhere. Don't see it. Go ahead and cut that off. I'll pull the die up. Pull it out. There it is right there. Easy peasy, nothing to it. The die has a little relief in it, so once you go past a certain point, it just falls right out of there. Set that in there. And there it is. I guess you can see that. Hole right dead in the center. That was a quarter. We're going to go over here to the hydraulic press and we'll do a different coin size over there on the hydraulic press. You can see how that works. Alright. Okay, we're in the shop, back in the shop now, and this is the hydraulic press. And we're going to go ahead and use the tool here, coin ring center punch tool, and we're going to punch a hole in a coin using the hydraulic press. We go ahead and I've got a $1 coin here, and we'll go ahead and punch a hole in that, and it fits right inside the little spacer there. Now, it's very important that you keep these dies clean. Don't let any dust get in there or anything like that. If any kind of rust or anything builds up on it, you know, you got to keep it lubricated. WD-40 is a good lubricant. It removes moisture and keeps things from rusting and that type of thing. But at least a little bit of rust is going to mess things up as far as alignment goes, because this tool is cut to very close tolerance. A piece of 400 grit wet dry sandpaper, 600 grit. I'd say 600 grit and up is ideal for cleaning this thing. You know, the higher the grit number, the better. 1200 grit would be even better, as far as if you needed to polish out the tool to get some rust or something like that. You don't want to go crazy, because you know, the more you do that, you're removing material. Even though it's just a very small amount, it's still going to mess up your accuracy as far as the alignment of the die. Okay, and the you know, and the cutter. So anyhow, when you're looking at the tool, you got this recessed part here. That's where the actual coin goes. So if I want heads on the ring to be on the top, I generally put heads down inside of here. Okay, and then this is the top part. It actually fits inside of the bottom part, and then the die will go down inside of it like that, and then we'll put it on the press. Now let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Set it off to the side over here. Now, this press right here is a 20-ton press, came from Harbor Freight. You don't really need a 20-ton press. You can use, I would say, you know, you might get away with a 2-ton, really, because it doesn't take a lot of pressure to go through a coin. They sell, I think, a 6-ton A-frame bench top press at Harbor Freight. it seemed like to me it was the regular price on it was like $79, I think, or something like that, or the sale price was $79. But there's always a coupon or something where you can get those things pretty cheap, and it's a bench top style A-frame press. You know, you can use that in your house. You don't have to have it out in the shed or somewhere like that. You can just, you know, set it up in the house and use it, and it'll be fine. I've actually got another press that I built myself that's a lot smaller and more compact, but I'm not going to show that in this video for, you know, obvious reasons. Anybody that's been keeping up with my channel, you'll know the obvious reasons why I'm not going to bring that tool out right now. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and punch a hole through this thing and kind of show you how this works. Now keep in mind too, even when you're working on a hydraulic press or the arbor press, it's always important to take a towel, put it around the die like this, and then press it to make sure if anything malfunctions or if something's off center, because, or you know, if you put the tool in there and it's not square, it's setting up on a piece of metal, or if it's setting on something that's uneven, it could put uneven pressure on the tool. Even though you're using the press can put uneven pressure and cause a projectile to come shooting out of there. The towel's not going to completely stop it, but it will slow it down. Okay, so that's the theory behind wrapping it in a towel or shielding it in some way, form, or fashion. All right, so we got it set up here now, and we got a place in the bottom for it to go through. We got a hole down there for everything to go through. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. Bring it to the bottom, and then go ahead and crank this thing on down and try to knock this hole out. Just go slow. Now I'm not covering it during the video because I want you to see what's happening here, what's taking place. Now we'll go ahead and run it on down a little further because there's a built-in relief angle in there. When you get to a certain point, the slug falls out the bottom. There it is, right there. We go ahead and take it on down until it's flush with the top there. Run it back up just a little bit. Pull this off. That's the top right there. We'll set that off to the side. Now we haven't quite reached the relief in here. Okay, we've reached the relief on the bottom. We've come all the way through the bottom, but we haven't quite reached the relief on the tool. So we're going to stick it back in there. Okay, and we're just going to go on down with it a little bit further. And you could at this point take a rawhide hammer or a rubber hammer, something that's really soft, and just gently tap it, and it would take it on down to where the relief is. Once it gets past the relief, then it should just fall right on out of there. Just like that. Okay, so there it is, and there it is, and there it is, and hopefully you can see that hole is in there perfect. And by putting, I don't know if you can see it or not, but by putting heads down and pressing through this way, any curvature that occurs from that process is going to be going in the right direction that you're trying to bend in. So if you wanted tails on the outside of the ring, ooh, then you flip it over and punch it through the other way. But if you put this on a precision plate, you can see that it is a little bit concave that way. So you know, heads is naturally going to be on top. Now, after I punch these holes through here, I like to inspect my die, the punch part of it rather, and make sure that it has not picked up any foreign material from off of the coin, because what the coin's made out of, silver or copper or whatever like that, nickel, a lot of them's made out of nickel alloys, can accumulate on the side of the actual punch, okay? And you know, you just kind of need to inspect that a little bit and make sure there's none on there, because if it builds up on there, it's going to obviously interfere with the clearances. And if it's, you know, if it's a little bit on there, you can take a piece of fine grit sandpaper, like the 1200 grit or 800 grit, something like that, and just kind of knock that off. Most of the time, if it builds up on there, you take your fingernail and hit it like that, it'll come right off, because it's not welding itself on there. It's just, you know, it's just residue basically. Anyway, that's how it works. That's how the press works. You've seen the Arbor press work. Probably the thickest coin to do is the dollar coin, which is what we just did. So you know, you've seen all that work, and the cutting edge on the punch is still nice and sharp, and looks good. I don't, you know, see any wear factors on that. So yeah, everything looks good. Anyway, it's always a good idea to wear safety glasses. I'm not wearing safety glasses, but you know, hey, it's just my stupidity. I should know better. I've had to have eye surgery from stuff flying in my eye I don't know how many times, and then I still don't wear safety glasses. But I wear these glasses most of the time when I'm working. They're not really safety glasses, but I need these to be able to see. So safety glasses is a good idea. Covering up with a towel, you know, it's a good idea. Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So anyway, have fun making coin rings, and I don't know exactly how many of these sets I'm going to sell. I've got about 6 of them right now, and I'll probably get rid of them and kind of see how that goes. And if that goes okay, I may make some more. I don't know. It takes a lot of time to make these sets. I mean, it really does. I don't get nowhere near out of them money-wise as far as time that I got put into them. But, I mean, you know, I can't see myself selling somebody something that they're not going to be happy with, and then, you know, if you're not happy with it and you have to send it back to me, and then I have to refund the money and all that, is, you know, it's just, you know, I'm not a big corporation. I can't afford all that. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video.